Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Mighty Movie Pod. My name is Ryan.
I am Josh.
And we're back with another episode today. Episode number 61.
Big 6-1, guys. We're getting up there. Soon we'll be triple digits.
It's true. So soon.
Soon.
We're almost 2/3 of the way there.
Yeah.
How are you doing today, Josh?
I'm doing pretty good, man.
Me too. It's very early.
It's very early on a Saturday.
We usually record these late in the evenings.
On a Tuesday.
And it's before 11 a.m.
My God.
On a Saturday.
On a Saturday? Well, I had to get up early and do math.
What are we? I know. What are we doing with our lives?
Math.
Math. I do math too. Maths.
You do all the math?
I do all the math. No, very basic math, but I have to do it every day. Yeah. And I'm like, this was not meant to be.
I'm an adult. You're not supposed to use math anymore.
Yeah, I was told this was never useful. Anyway, we're here to talk about a movie.
Yeah. Just a little one.
It's a small independent film.
By an unproven director.
Yeah. Dude, with nobody actors in it.
Yeah.
Small cast.
No names. It's a Netflix, you know.
Yeah, Netflix. Straight to Netflix.
Yeah.
No, I didn't even go to Netflix. It's like on the Sundance channel.
It's on Crackle.
It's on Crackle.
Crackle. Joe Dirt 2 still available.
Yeah, it is if you want to torture yourself. So we're obviously here to talk about Avengers Endgame. But Josh, before we get into that,
okay,
I think I wanted to talk about. Well, you had less luck than I did. But
yeah, I did not have a good lineup.
I had a bunch of sweet-ass trailers roll before the movie.
Sweet.
And normally I hate having to sit through all these awful trailers, but there were some good ones. Yeah. There were some bangers, as the kids would call it.
Before you get into it, my friend, we went at midnight, right? On Thursday night. And he's sitting with me, and he's just like, I don't think they're going to show trailers tonight, man. They know everybody's got to get up early, go to work. They're not going to play trailers.
My wife said that too, and I said, why? Of course they're going to. They get paid.
Yeah, well, and I told him, I was like, that's dumb. Now I want you to name me 5 movies you've never had to see trailers in front of. Do it right now. I'll wait. And then he sat there, and he's just like, well, none. And I'm like, yeah, exactly. No one cares what time it is. And then when the trailer started, he was like, well, God damn it. And I was like, you really thought that?
Yeah, because there was a showing that was starting at 1:20 in the morning.
Dude, there was at our theater, the last showing was at 2:20.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I think it was, yeah.
Imagine getting out of the movie. It's like daylight. Like, shit.
Well, dude, I got home at 3:20.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And I was like, Jesus, man. It's a long movie.
It is a long movie.
Doesn't feel its length, but it's a long movie.
It is a long movie. But I wanted to talk about a couple of these trailers, Josh. Yeah. So we've talked about Hobbs and Shaw before.
Can't wait, dude.
This new trailer is even more ridiculous. And I'm excited you haven't seen it because I get to tell you what happens.
Okay.
First of all, it's Shaw's sister now, because remember his brother was the bad guy in 6, and that's why he came back for 7.
Yeah,
because he's like, you killed my brother.
It's the blonde girl from Fallout, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And now he's like, my sister, and she's in some sort of business.
Yeah.
With Idris Elba is mad at her for some reason. Anyway,
like you do.
Anyway, so it shows some of the wacky shit of them like, ha ha ha, we're in a building and going down elevators and doing that whole thing. But all of a sudden it was like, we need somewhere to hide. We got to take it back old school. And they like go to, I don't know, Hawaii, where the fuck The Rock is from. And they're going to fight them with like old school clubs and stuff. And they're all like wearing, traditional Pacific Islander garb.
I didn't see that. Okay, I didn't see that trailer in the theater, but I saw it online.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
And I was like, no, this is going to be so awesome.
Yeah. He's doing the
and he's like, we need
cars
cars and guns. And they're like, we're going to go back to Hawaii or wherever the fuck he's from. And then they're like, oh no, we don't have any guns, so we're just going to fight him with axes and clubs.
Yeah, dude, he's got like a big fucking mace or some shit like that. And I'm like, Jesus.
So it's even stupider than I thought it was going to be. So I'm excited for that.
They're so bad.
Not much to say about that one. The one I want to talk about the most, though, Josh, is I did see the trailer for Dark Phoenix.
Ah, yes.
I
was surprised that I didn't see the Joker teaser in there somewhere.
Yeah. It's a good point.
Yeah.
The thing, I always have liked the X-Men movies, even though I think they're dumb and they aren't good.
Well, accepting
Yeah, Logan is really good, and I like Days of Future Past.
I love Days of Future Past.
But I used to remember always watching on Fox. I would watch the X-Men movies because I was a little young when they came out, so I saw them when they were like in on TV mostly. And like even X-Men Apocalypse, I was like, this is stupid. I like it.
Well, it's like I was talking to you about it. I was like, if Apocalypse had been the very first X-Men movie, I think it would have gotten a lot more traction,
a lot more praise.
Yeah, because I mean, it's not bad. It's just not very good.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's totally acceptable. It's weird.
Yeah, and with Dark Phoenix, they go into space and explode or something.
Because that's where the Dark Phoenix, the Phoenix Force comes from is space, and there's this whole involvement with the Shi'ar Empire and everything. Shi'ar. I've never figured out how to say that word right. There's this whole thing that goes on, and that's where Gladiator and the Imperial Guard and everybody shows up, and there's this whole thing. It's just like, this is the first time where they've ever actually been like, yeah, the Phoenix comes from space. So I'm like, well, okay, they're kind of doing it, except it looks more like how the Fantastic Four got their powers.
Made them all fantastic.
Yeah,
fantastic. Yeah, I thought that it looked it looks campy and stupid.
It looks pretty cool.
And everybody's gonna be like, we're evil, but we're not evil, but she has powers.
Yeah. Well, the Hellfire Club, I think, is going to get involved, and that's why I think that's supposed to be Emma Frost with Jessica Chastain playing her and everything. So I think the Hellfire Club's going to get involved, which could be interesting. I don't know where Magneto's standing at this point in the movie, because
neither do I. I don't remember where he
fell. He seems to be like he is in the comics, where he's all over the place. He's a good guy. He's a bad guy. He's a good guy. Now he's just kind of around. Now he's a bad guy. Now he wants everybody to leave him alone. And he's in an asteroid, and they pissed him off, so he's pointing nukes at the planet. You know?
Yeah, I forget exactly where he managed to fall at the end of Apocalypse. I don't remember.
I think if I remember right, he was just like, I'm done. I thought he left.
Yeah.
Or he might have ended up back at the school.
I forget.
Yeah.
I don't remember at all.
Yeah.
But that was good. And I'm just like, dude, they're bringing the trailers right now. I never thought because normally what happens when I have to sit through a bunch of trailers is I have to watch like 5 Feet Apart or whatever other stupid romantic comedy, Secret Life of Pets.
I was gonna say I got Secret Life of Pets too, and I was like, oh man.
They played that trailer. The last movie I went and saw, they played the trailer twice
for Secret
Life of Pets. The one with the bunny and the costume. Yeah, they played it twice.
They did get me with one joke in that trailer, and it was the gerbil in the wheel. That joke got me. I run and I run and I run and I run, and then I stop and I get out, and I've gone nowhere. That one got me, dude.
The trailers are better than those movies.
That's what I've heard. I didn't see the first one. I don't really care to see the second.
Yeah, their advertising is what's fun. Like the movie itself is garbage.
Well, it's like watching Big Bang Theory trailers for their next episode. You really just need to watch the little ads, and you get the jokes, and that's it.
That's the whole thing. But yeah, so I got Lion King, which it looks like Lion King.
Like I don't see anything really changing.
Yeah, the only thing that's going to differentiate itself is the cast, and they basically just had James Earl Jones talking over the whole thing. So it's like,
that's not James Earl Jones,
huh? Yeah,
that's not. It doesn't sound like James Earl Jones.
Yeah,
I don't believe you.
Yeah, it's James Earl Jones still.
Huh?
Yes. He sounds better for whatever reason than he did when he did Vader again. I don't know why. But no, it is him. Do you want me to look it up? You go ahead and look it up while I keep talking.
I don't have it. On my phone.
Okay. So they're not showing a lot. So I'm just like, yeah, I get it. It's fucking...
Scar's voice is different, though.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. And I was just kind of like, you're not going to get... You can't get much better than Jeremy Irons in that role. Like, he's so sinister. He's so good in that movie.
Yeah. So it's... it's like... I want to be excited because I like The Lion King, but then again, it just looks like The Lion King. So the only thing that's going to be different is the performances, and they didn't show any of that. So it's hard. It's not a trailer to get excited about.
No.
At all.
The thing that cracks me up about the whole thing is they keep calling it live action, and it's not live action. Those aren't real animals. It's still animated. You just animated it differently.
Yeah, I know, for real. No, it is still James Earl Jones.
It is.
God,
maybe it didn't sound like James Earl Jones. That's weird.
Yeah. So,
Maybe because I'm used to like Vader, Thulsa
Yeah.
Doom, you know, all that stuff.
So they played that one. Like I said, Dark Phoenix, Hobbs, and Shaw, and then they played the teaser for the new Star Wars. Which, funny story.
I like to see it, dude. I only saw it on my computer screen.
Yes, seeing it on the big screen, it always gets
amazing.
Me. Yes,
amazing. I thought it looked great. I really got to see just how much of that Death Star was on that planet,
Yeah.
and it's like the whole front half of the fucking thing.
Yeah.
So I was like, cool, and I really think it's gonna end up. There's gonna be this real cool little haunted mansion kind of thing going on with that little haunted house bit.
I think so too. I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a good one.
I think I'm gonna enjoy it. Yeah.
But that was awesome. But my wife said, "Do you think people are going to be clapping in the movie like they do in Star Wars?" And I was like, "No, I think a few people are going to try, and then nobody's going to be like, oh, this is where we clap." I'm like, that's like a Star Wars thing where everybody decides to clap for no reason. I don't know why. More people.
Spider-Man: Homecoming. People were applauding.
More people clapped during the Star Wars teaser than they did during the movie.
Oh, no one clapped in my dude. I had this is the only Marvel movie. You know, I'm always complaining about Marvel fans and how much I hate seeing movie with these savages. And then this movie, everyone was fine.
Yeah,
like
nice.
Everyone was quiet when you needed to be quiet. There was one dude in the theater. Every joke landed with that guy. He was having the best time ever. I thought, and I liked it because he wasn't being obnoxious.
You're just no, the girl sitting right next, like one away from us.
Oh, really?
Just full out loud. Like when they walked up, I was like, oh, it's just some couple. And they sat silent through all the trailers. Then the movie started, and then they decided to talk just straight up about what's happening on the screen. I don't need the commentary.
I found myself a little guilty of doing things like that. Oh, look, he's, like,
I don't need the commentary.
Oh,
no,
look, it's,
this was stupid. No, this was like stupid levels of shit. Thor, I love him. Well, not when he's fat. Spoiler alert.
I was going to say, do you want to get into spoilers? I feel like we should wait for those because, like, we have to get into spoilers to discuss the movie.
That's why I wanted to talk a little bit about the trailers first, to have a semblance of spoiler-free. All right, we're going to talk about the movie now. Spoilers.
Okay, spoilers straight out the gate?
From the get-go. Okay, hang on. Let's start over here.
Okay.
Let's start over. Josh, what did you think about Avengers Endgame?
I've been working on that for 2 days, man. It has such a great finality to it. Like I felt like by the end of this, they were like giving you permission to not go see everyone again. And I really believe there's not going to be another Avengers film.
No.
And I liked that. It felt like by the end of the movie, I really thought, and this is the one movie, we were talking about it earlier, where of all the Marvel movies, you have to have seen all 22 of these films.
Yes.
To fully grasp everything. It's not a necessity. Like, you could probably skip Iron Man 2.
Yeah.
You probably don't need you need Iron Man 3 kind of. But like it's just like everything gets touched on at some point that's happened, and it wraps them all up, and like I enjoyed that. By the end of the movie, I felt like, because I've told you where it's just like, I don't know how much longer I can keep doing this.
Yeah. It
needs to pay off, and it did.
Yes, I agree.
It finally all came together. It is all wrapped up very well. I enjoyed the movie. I have problems with it because it's not. You're seeing a lot of people around. It's 100% best movie. And I don't agree. But I feel like for the world of the Marvel universe, it is an excellent ending, and I enjoyed it for that. I really, really liked this movie a lot. I think it's one of the Russo's better ones. When I say better ones, I don't mean that it's like, oh, finally the Russos made one worthwhile.
Yeah, right.
Most of the best Marvel movies have been by their hand.
Yes.
Winter Soldier's still their masterpiece as far as I'm concerned.
Absolutely.
With Infinity War right after it.
Absolutely.
But it was really great. I'm running my mouth because I'm trying to get my thoughts together.
I completely agree. I really enjoyed the movie, and I thought that everything paid off well and had a lot of good things in it.
It started some new stuff, but I don't think that we're gonna get any.
No, I just thought I thought the movie was okay.
Yeah,
as a movie.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get at.
What it was essentially being, though, was a cap to an entire 10-year span of movies.
Mm-hmm.
It was not. It's a direct sequel to Infinity War, but to be completely honest,
it's wrapping
up. It's wrapping up an entire
21
series.
Movies.
Like if they did like they do on like certain TV shows where they're like previously on the Avengers, there would have been clips from every fucking movie.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
The cold open would have been the 30
yeah.
minutes. Yeah.
That being said, yes, I really enjoyed myself. I thought everything they did was good. My problems are with is kind of with the plot and the structure of the movie. Let's get into spoilers now, for real. Spoilers. You've been warned. Spoilers. Time travel plots are always impossible to pull off.
I knew you were going to bring it up, dude, and I was hoping you were going to, because I tried to talk to my friend about it, and he was just like, and I'm like, no, they laid out the rules at the beginning, and then they broke them for an ending.
It was crazy. They went out of their way to paint a picture of time travel rules we know, where they talk about Back to the Future and talk about shit.
That's not how it works.
And they're like, this is not how it works. It works this way, except for when it doesn't.
Yeah. Except for when we need it to be good for the plot.
Yeah.
Because we had a really cool idea and we don't want to get rid of it.
You can't mess up the past. It always happens. We're not going into the past. We're going into our future. You can't go back. And I was like, okay, you're making this terribly convoluted and confusing. What? But then immediately when they go back, somebody tells them, well, you're going to fuck up the past if I give you the stone.
Well, and that's...
I'm like, we just went over the fact that they said they couldn't do that.
What was it she said? She said, if you take the time stone, then that
out of this reality,
up. Yeah, then that fucks up our reality because we don't have that stone anymore.
Yes.
And that's where where the rules of the Infinity Stones, you have to know the rules of the Infinity Stones. Yeah. Because they exist across all realities, but you can only have one set per reality.
Yeah.
So if you take one away, you're gonna fuck up that reality, and it's and yours is gonna be fine, and that's the whole plot.
And they had a fix for that, and it's all. And I don't want to nitpick. Like, you're gonna have this problem with any time travel plot.
Oh, of course, you start thinking about it too much. Yeah, I wasn't even talking about that part. I was talking about the end of the movie.
Yes, the end of the movie has a lot to do with that.
Yeah.
Because let's start near the beginning, okay? I really, really, really loved the first act of this movie.
Oh, yeah.
I was not for a second expecting that they were going to find Thanos and chop his head off in the first 10 minutes of the movie.
That's how you subvert expectations.
To
coin the popular buzzwords on the internet right now.
Definitely. Did not see that coming.
I didn't either. It's funny though, because it began exactly the way I said it was hoping.
Did, yeah.
I was like, I really hope it starts with Hawkeye and we get that bit with his family, and it opened with that, and then you jump forward in time, and then you jump even further forward in time.
Yes. As soon as them finding Thanos thing happened, I was like, well, all right. Josh was 100% right, which I knew you were for most of the time. Near the end, though, as some of the material, like the marketing material, came out, I was like,
you got a little.
I don't think they're gonna go back in time, man. I really don't think so.
Yeah.
But here's what I didn't anticipate: that Thanos had a sweet weapon that, for whatever reason, at some point he just stopped using.
He didn't need it anymore, and he didn't want. That was what I thought was great, because it encapsulated how much Thanos had planned this out. This wasn't just some crazy person's plan.
Yeah.
He was just like, no, I'm going to fix it. And then these guys are going to try to fuck me over, or somebody at some point is going to come for the most powerful thing in the universe. I have to destroy it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's not even what I'm talking about. No, that was awesome.
I thought that was great.
And the thing was though,
I thought he would, because when it started, I thought he was all fucked up because Thor fucking jammed an axe in his chest.
Exactly. But here's the thing. That didn't make sense to me, and this is more kind of little nitpicky, but he was talking about needed to get rid of him because it's only temptation, right? But then they talk about that you can't bring back whoever died to be inside the Soul Stone. So what temptation did he have? He couldn't bring Gamora back.
See, I thought it wasn't. I thought it wasn't his temptation because he was concrete. This is the way it was.
Yeah.
I think he meant for other people to come and take his power.
Could be.
And fix everything.
No, what I was talking about is what made me think that they were just gonna face him straight up is because he had a new weapon on him.
Yeah.
And that big sword. And I was just like,
little did you know.
That's new. But little did I know, for whatever reason, he used it, but then he was like, oh, fuck this thing, and stopped using it before Infinity War, which makes sense. He did have an Infinity Gauntlet.
What do you need? What do you need a double-bladed axe sword spear thing for when you have the most powerful weapon in the universe?
So that's where my thing came. But when they go and they chop his head off, that was all a really good bit. You were kind of just like, damn, Thanos is straight into
I liked that with Thor too. You saw the evolution of everything. Thor is really key to the whole thing. It's crazy. Because you deal with the loss of his father, the loss of his mother, the loss of his people. He's failed at every turn, and by the time they get to the point where he takes his head off, he's already dead inside, basically. And then he cuts his head off, and that breaks him.
Yeah.
That's it, and that was the last straw. And I thought that was great because you get the feeling at the beginning of the movie, Thor's not doing well.
No.
And then when we're introduced to him later on, you see that, Thor's really messed up. And it's like, it's really funny. They kind of play it for laugh and everything like that. But then there's these great deeper moments I thought were really good where it's like, he's really fucked up. This isn't all fun and games.
I think I'm back and forth on what they did there with Thor. Because like you said, they play it for laughs and there are deeper moments there that get
There's not enough. They needed to get a little bit. They did a better job with Clint than they did with Thor.
Yeah. So they made him a little wacky. And that's how I like my Thor. But at the same time being like, I'm a total badass. And that didn't happen until way later on.
Yeah, when he's fucking holding both.
When he has his hammer back and fucking Stormbreaker.
Yeah. And by the way, now that Thor does not have a hammer.
Let's not get into that.
Yeah, but we're talking about the time travel thing. And Bruce clearly tells Scott, that's not how it works. That becomes their future.
Yes.
So at the end of the movie, when we get old man Steve, he shouldn't be there anymore.
Yeah.
Because he's now in that timeline. Yeah, no. He's now in that timeline.
I know. That's what I'm saying. They the way they explain it was never well enough.
Yeah.
They tried to make their own rules so it wouldn't be so I guess plot holy when it comes to traditional time travel mechanics.
Yeah.
And
I liked what they did.
So they're trying to say no matter
practical.
what, everything's still going to happen. We're not going to fuck up our present because we're going into the past is our future.
Yeah.
So crazily unnecessary. But then they immediately say they have to go back or they're going to fuck everything up. So it's so weird.
Yeah.
And then yes, he stays. And then, but I guess it's the same future. I don't know. I don't want to get too wrapped up.
Well, it's just that was my biggest gripe. Where I was just like, no, he shouldn't. How does that mean that he fought Thanos as an old man now, or did it never happen? How there's so many questions about how old man
he lived
Steve.
That whole life, and then basically went back and then lived out the rest of his life up to this point.
With
you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like everything he already did already happened. They talked about that. So him going into the past became his future. Like, at no point did he go back in time. He went back in time, but how old he was at that point that they sent him back, and then he just lived out the rest of his life up until that point again.
Yeah, but I don't know how...
Which means there's an overlap there, At a certain point, yeah, there's 2 caps concurrently going.
Yeah.
Until boop, the loop comes back around and he's sitting on that bench. Okay.
All right. All right.
But yes,
he still shouldn't be there, is my point.
By
the rules laid down by Bruce.
According to one of them, yes. But it was never concrete if that was actually a thing. Who knows? Who fucking knows?
I just feel like you can't express a set of rules and then
they were a little vague. But yes. That's the thing. Like I said, most of my issue is the fact that they had a somewhat poorly planned time travel plot. Yeah. So, first act, loved it. Everything's going on. You jump 5 years ahead, and you're just like, well, shit kind of sucks. And they totally lost.
It felt a little weird to me still, where I was just like, well, you can just make more people. Why did the world just fall into complete and total ruin?
Yeah, that was a little strange. But, there's like neighborhoods that are ruined, I guess.
Yeah,
but
well,
then they were
it
like
makes
somewhere
sense
else
that there would be
fine.
some chaos and everything, but like they're showing like massive cities just shut down.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that doesn't, it's, I know it's half the world's population.
Randomly. So, fucking almost all of one city could be gone and
I feel
one
like,
city was barely touched.
I feel like 5 years later, we would have been at a better point.
Yeah, I agree. It is setting a tone, basically, that everybody like was struggling to move on and what have you.
Yeah.
So that, like, move into that's pretty cool. Scott, the whole universe as a whole owes it to that rat that walked on the control panel and brought Scott back. Yes, a rat saved the entire universe.
Yeah. Yeah. A rat looking for a cheese.
Scott comes back. I like that that was the vessel to see where the world was at that point.
I liked the vehicle that Scott was in this.
Yes.
And I liked that they showed that Scott's not a complete dummy again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He had this whole idea. He just didn't know how to get it together.
Yeah.
And I thought that was great. Him and Tony together was funny.
Yes.
I liked Tony in this movie a lot. I liked when he came back. They did. I liked what they did to him to make him look like he'd been out there for months.
Yes.
I thought that was great. He was a little
he
weathered. He couldn't fight. She had to pick him up. Nebula's the best character in the movie. I was very impressed.
I was
Nebula.
really surprised of how important she was, and I was really impressed with her performance.
She
overall.
was, dude. They did a great job of making her very sinister, and I was fully into my theory that like. I was like, she's going to fuck them over because, like, it's Nebula. That's what she does. And then, like, no, it was just because they were in the same area at the same time and the programming's the same, so they're switching files back and forth. I thought that was really cool. And that she was a better person as Nebula can be. I liked that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I liked it a lot. And I like that Gamora is now an unknown issue. Because it's not the same Gamora.
Yeah, that's strange in and of itself. The whole
they do that a lot.
Go and yank somebody from the past and bring them up forward. Yet we talked about that inevitably everything will always happen. Time travel plots.
Yeah. Well, and that's comic books right there. That's a really comic book thing where
just let's fix
where it's
it
like no, I'm Gamora, but I'm not the same Gamora, so I'm not going to be the same person.
Person.
And I thought I'd liked how
so
they
I don't
did
have
that.
the same experiences. Thus I'm kind of a different person. Yeah. And I expected a level of that nonsense going on.
Well, and that's the thing is it's like I brought up with the Steve thing and stuff. When you really sit down and you think about it, you have to go, oh yeah, well it's all based on comic books, and this is what we always do in comic books. We explain something and then we go like, yeah, but we want to put this in there, and there's a lot of that goes on in the movie.
Exactly.
And it's done well. It's just
it was
like
fine.
you said, it's nitpicking, and you can do that with every time travel movie.
For sure. Okay, and then it kind of turns into Goofy Town once once Scott shows up and
It's
Tony,
not really.
and
It's not
Tony's
really
like,
when
"We're
Scott
in."
shows up. It's when we get the big reveal that Banner and Hulk have become one. And I love Smart Hulk. Smart Hulk was one of my favorite little things they did in the Marvel universe. I thought it was great, but it's almost like, again, Mark Ruffalo wants to be more fun or something, so they're just like, just do it with him.
That was a very odd choice. I have no idea what they're.
I like Smart Hulk. Smart Hulk was cool in the comics because it was like he was still the ass kicker, but he was in control and everything. And if I remember right, it's kind of like some people like Smart Hulk, some people don't. So, but it happened, so they went with it, and I thought it was cool. I liked the way they did it.
It was a little goofy. And there's the whole movie. I was like, all right, okay, this is what we're doing. All right,
okay,
fair enough. I guess Mark was like voiceover and mocap work. That's it.
Yeah. One thing that I kept feeling like they were trying to hide the fact that the face doesn't look natural by having him constantly touching his face, because he's always like rubbing his jaw, or like, checking his glasses, or doing, little face scratch. And I'm just like, guys, we know.
It could be, it could be them trying to cover up a little bit of the work there. So then it gets a little goofy because they're like, we got to find Thor, and
then we got to get the band back together.
Yeah, and it's like, Taika Waititi's there. They're playing Fortnite.
Yeah, I thought that was just like Korg still. It was so funny because I was just like, after Infinity War, I was like, wow, dude, I wonder, who's left and who's in it. It's fucking like when you're on the ship with them, it's like, it's bad.
Yeah.
So I did not expect to see as many survivors from Ragnarok like everybody that you knew as a character except for Loki is still around.
Yeah.
And I was just kind of like, I feel like a couple, like Korg didn't need to be there. Like, it was great to see him again because Taika Waititi, I love him.
Yes.
But I felt like it was like, it's not so bad. You still have your support group here. You should be fine.
Yeah, Valkyrie's still there.
Yeah. And Valkyrie is still...
especially because she gets on that Pegasus.
She gets on the Pegasus, yeah.
And it's awesome. So yeah,
I'm gonna talk about that a little later.
It's kind of in Goofy Town there for a while, and then like they're like
everything with Thor, like we said, is for laughs, and it shouldn't be as laugh heavy as Thor is.
Yeah, it's a couple of the like between Hulk and him, they were just kind of like, what do we do with these guys? I don't know.
Well, they were funny last time.
Make them a little goofy, despite it kind of feeling weird given the circumstances.
Yeah.
Like him reliving the plot of Thor 2 to everybody. Like drunkenly sad.
Yeah. The bit between him and his mom was great.
Yes.
And I needed more of that. Like Thor was great doing his laughs in Infinity War.
Yeah.
I thought it was great, but we went right back to Ragnarok and it didn't really fit with the rest of the tone.
Yeah, it was weird because then it's like, all right, he talked to his mom, he got his hammer back, he's pretty pumped, which, like you said, causes a lot of weird issues.
Yeah, so now, like, basically Asgard's just gone, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I guess. Doesn't matter. It's a reset. So, and I'm like, all right, he's going to be a little bit more level-headed here, but he's still kind of just all freaked out and being a weirdo. God.
I just realized this. Cap went back with the hammer. Yes,
with the hammer, and he gave fucking Sam the
shield.
The shield. And I'm like, so did he take the hammer? Because that's just, he has the hammer now? Or did he take it back?
I think he took it back. I was just thinking it over in my head. I was like, no, because he has to give it back the minute it was taken.
Yeah, he's taking the ether back, so he probably left the hammer
and
there.
Gave the hammer back to Thor. Duh.
Yeah, I thought of that too. Yeah. So I was like, either he took it back or he lost it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Cap uses the hammer, by the way.
Yes. Cap uses the hammer, and it's very good.
Was awesome.
Very good. Good stuff.
Another callback to the comics.
So they're coming up with their plan. There's some goofs. There's some laughs. There's some serious talk. Some more things that don't quite make sense, like, hey, Nebula, how about when we're making these teams, how about you warn the people who are going to get the Soul Stone? Like, yeah, he had to kill Gamora to get that.
Right. Well, I don't know if did she know?
She knew because she said on Titan, she said he went there.
He went there and he
came back with the Soul Stone, which means
he didn't come back with my sister. Yeah.
Yes. So anyway.
God, I forgot. Sorry.
No, you're good. So I was like, that's kind of dumb, but whatever. That drama was fine. I liked it enough. It was. I hate that we're always so mean to Black Widow on this podcast.
I liked her more in this movie.
I liked that she's like, I finally am going to do something, but I was at the same time, I was like, Black Widow, no.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like the interaction between her and Clint made that scene much better than
she did some
because I agree, because I was like, oh no,
she did some of her best acting in this one, for sure.
She was great in this movie. She did a lot of what she was doing in Winter Soldier, and that was the first and really last time I liked Black Widow.
Yes,
she was awesome in that movie, and she's great in this. She was fantastic. I really liked Black Widow a lot in this movie.
So like they're making,
she's kind of the heart and soul. I'm sorry.
Yeah, for sure. But like they're making the plan and they're getting the teams and they did a little test and it works. And now it's like, all right, here comes the meat of this plot coming up. And I'm not sure. Some of it was fun, and I'm just like not sure if I was that into it. It was more Back to the Future 2 than it was Back to the Future
1. Yeah, yeah. Well, and that's what I said when I was talking to you about it earlier, and I said it's kind of like Return of the Jedi.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
not a lot of it's really there, but it's a good ending. You know,
but the stuff that is there is magnificent. Yeah. I don't want to like plot point by plot point go over the whole movie, but like things from that whole chunk of the middle of the movie that I really liked is they're going down a Stark Tower, right? And they're like they're setting up the elevator fight.
I
again.
thought that I was like, we're gonna get another it's shot by shot remake of the elevator fight, and I was waiting for before we begin. Does anyone want to get out? I was waiting for that callback.
Yes,
and no, he just whispers "Hail Hydra,"
takes it, and is like, "Later, idiots."
And they're just like, "Cool,
sweet." Like, no, Captain America's not on to us. He's just one of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was super funny. And then he fights himself.
That was cool. That was really cool. And then we got the old. I'm glad that they brought Alan Silvestri back, because he did awesome music for. He did some of the most recognizable music. He put the theme together for the Avengers.
Oh, yeah.
He did the Captain America soundtrack, so you got a lot of that great
time
old
travel
fanfare.
movie. You got to get Silvestri in there, bro.
Right?
He's so whimsical.
Yeah, dude. I loved the Cap fight where he's. I can do this. I know.
Yes, I know.
Yeah. Oh my god.
And it was one of the only times we got somebody interacting with themselves, because I love time travel. Don't get me wrong, and I love the whole thing of like you're annoyed by yourself.
Oh yeah. Well, especially Steve, like because like at that point, I think. You've got older Steve who's been around. He's been in the world, and he's like, "Oh my god, what a tool!" You know, and it's so cool. He's just like, "God, what a jerk!" You know, it was great. It was great for Cap to meet Cap. I think that if Tony had met Tony, it would have just been too much.
Yeah.
Or, anybody else. But Cap meeting old Cap, like he's just woke up out of the ice. He's still got that can do, we're America, you know, attitude. And he's just like, oh my God, shut up.
Yeah. And then, I like some of the alternative angles or like extra little added scenes. So it's like going down the elevator and they're like, take the stairs. And the Hulk's just mad.
So I was like, no wonder he hates all of them. No wonder he just left.
Super mean to him. No stairs.
Maximum capacity, bro. No stairs.
Which ultimately,
so many stairs.
So like that goof I really liked.
Yeah, it was really good.
Ultimately fucks up their whole plan. So they have to go back again, which leads to the part where what
was weird about that was like, Tony, you don't remember doing that to him,
No, probably not.
Honestly, yeah, probably not, because he's Stark and he's a dick.
He probably wasn't thinking like, "Oh man, I better stay clear of the stairs."
Wait. Yeah. I think I was a dick to him again.
Yeah. But ultimately fucks up their whole plan. So then they have to go to another time.
I thought that was cool that it shows where Scott ends, and the other guys they're quicker on their feet in different situations. Like Scott's going to dwell on the crisis and how bad it is, and he's going to try to think of a way to steal something or something like that. And they're like, no, we just go to the other. We just go to where he created the particles.
We can get that, and we can get more of the things, and
we're
bingo,
good.
bango.
Yeah. The bit between him and his dad. was kind of up and down.
At that point, I was like, okay. And I thought this in Infinity War, by the way, when he was just like, oh, I thought we would be expecting and blah, blah, blah. I was like, later, bro. When it was like he has his family and then he talks to his dad. And I was like, oh, fucking, I get it.
No, they telegraph real early.
Get it.
Yeah, they telegraphed that real early.
That was the only kind of I liked the idea of the solution to their problem. They're like, no, we just go back further. And yeah, two birds with one stone. Why they couldn't have stayed where they were and go and find Pym?
Yeah,
but then hey, I thought, look, I'm in your. He probably would have objected to the.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and I thought about it too, and I was like, it would have taken more time to get to Frisco, maybe, and then you got to get, and then like, how do you get back? You know, and it's I
agree. Well, and at that point, yes, Loki's already God knows where.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, dude. Did you want to talk about that? Because I thought that was a cool point of speculation. Like Loki stole the fucking Tesseract, which was the space.
Yeah.
Is that the space stone?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So he can be wherever he wants to, whenever he wants to now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and that's why that was the most interesting setup I that was in the movie to me. I was just like, well, shit.
Yep.
You know, like, and he's definitely not going to give it away.
No.
You know, he's kind of been after that stone the whole time.
I think we're going to see an alternative timeline Loki again.
Which could be cool.
Yeah. I mean, Thor's going to continue on.
Oh, yeah. He's the Asgardians of the Galaxy.
Asgardians of the Galaxy.
Which, like, I made the joke because they tried that in the comics. But they brought over Angela from Spawn. And then they were like, oh, yeah, Spawn, who was an Image property. But like, there was some kind of rights issue where they technically own the rights to Angela or something like that. So Angela was on the team, sort of. That was the worst run of Guardians ever. They shouldn't have done it. But then they started calling it Asgardians of the Galaxy with her on the team. And it was like, this is stupid. And everybody else thought that, and they ended up getting rid of that plot line. Thank God Bendis doesn't write that book anymore. But,
yeah, so it was a good solution to their problem. I thought it was clever, but I was like, all right, this little drag right here in the middle of what is kind of like the time heist was a little pace halting.
I felt like, yeah, that's okay. I did say it didn't feel like it didn't feel like it was its length, but it felt like they took a little too much time with the time travel bit. Certain segments of the time travel bit were longer than they needed to be.
Yeah,
Thor's and Rockets was real quick, real to the point
because how much nostalgia is there for Thor 2?
For Thor 2, exactly. Yeah. And then like the one that I thought was like really well done was Nebula, War Machine,
yes,
Hawkeye and Black Widow.
Absolutely.
I thought that because like you needed to establish Thanos.
Yeah, you have the good drama
because I was like, how is this gonna fucking?
How are they gonna end up facing him again? Yeah, exactly.
Who's gonna be the best? Is Loki gonna be the final dude? And then and that's what I kind of thought was gonna happen when he stole the cube. I was like, oh, he's gonna be a fucking pain in the ass again. Because he's still a pain in the ass at that point.
Yes.
I mean, he's always a pain in the ass, but he was a big pain in the ass at that point. So it was like, oh great, we're gonna do Loki again, and then like no, we get Thanos all over again, and I was like, okay, cool. As I was happy to see it be Thanos again, and he's still just the same.
He's just like, all right, I see that I win, and I see that I fucked up, and now new plan, and fucking he's traveling through time. Same plan in mind, but with a completely different outlook.
It was like, funny when
kind of frightening
when Nebula switched places with Nebula.
Yes,
I was like, oh, so they just fucking gave him the wrong stone and it's going to blow up Hulk or something like that. And then I was like, wait, no, he wants all the stones together. Why would he go and fucking craft the gauntlet when they're going to craft the gauntlet?
For him. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I was like, fucking Thanos. Like, he's just like, why do all the work? Yeah. And
bring everybody back. I don't give a shit. I have a whole new plan now.
Yeah. He's like,
because I realized the mistake that I made.
And I love that he takes the jab too. Like, by the way, thank you for gathering everything for me. You know?
Yep. You saved me a lot of time. Yeah. I just love that future and time travel is going on. And he immediately is just like, I get what's happening, adjusting my entire plan. And he's like, ready. I'm like, Jesus Christ. He's very threatening.
Well, yeah, and I love the line that Dead Thanos gives. I am inevitable,
Yeah.
and he just latches
He
on to
quotes
that.
himself.
He quotes himself exactly. Like he's just like, I'm inevitable.
And
this
then
is
that
destined.
was the best part of the movie. I am inevitable.
Yeah.
I am Groot.
I am Groot.
That's the line, everybody.
So great.
No, that's not what happened. That's not
what happened at all. Thanos is Groot.
Thanos is Groot.
Yeah.
Time travel, am I right? Outside of that, and then everything forward is obviously just fan service. Good
it's
fan
the big.
service.
Oh yeah, it's the big fight.
To just an outrageous degree that is like crazy.
Well, and it's one of my favorite Cap moments where he knows he's going to lose.
Yeah.
And watching, like, Chris Evans does a great job in that scene where he's so beat to shit. He knows he's going to lose, and he just buckles that shield down on his arm that's gushing blood.
Yeah.
It looks like it's barely there, and he's got that huge cut in his arm.
Yeah.
And then he gets this, like he comes to terms with he's going to lose this fight. This is the fight that he's going to lose, but he's going to fight it. And I love that. He gets up and then the whole army marches down on him. And he's just like, here we go. And then you get the on your left and the circle opens up. And I was just like, oh man, yeah, everybody's back. Why did it take so fucking long to get here?
Yeah, they orchestrate a lot. Oh,
Yeah.
Doctor Strange was the only one who actually knew what was happening.
Yeah.
Because everybody else is like, oh, we woke up and we didn't know what was happening.
And that was the bit that I liked of how Banner got her to give him the stone was just like, he gave it away.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, why? And he's like,
I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe he made a mistake. And she's like, maybe I am. And it's just, I loved that like Strange was not in the movie, but he's still Doctor Strange.
Yes.
Like, no, he has a plan all the time. Like
The name of the movie is based off of something he said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're in the end game. Yeah. And it's just like, it was so, I loved it where it's just like, no, he knows. He knows. And I love that bit between him and Tony where Tony's got the gauntlet and Strange is holding back the water and he just holds up the one finger, and it was just like, he's like, this is the one. You have to win.
Yeah.
It's.
Yeah, and like I said, it's all great from there. Love the first act, love the end, because how could you not? And then that's the thing. I was talking about people not quite knowing when they should clap or not. There's a moment in this movie where you definitely know is when you're supposed to clap.
Oh yeah,
and it is ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's crazy. It all comes together. It's that little middle bit that like really kind of drags the movie down.
Yeah, but then it picks and it doesn't even pick
really
up.
like
it just ramps straight up. It just like, oh god, when Scott walks outside and he's looking at all the trees and then you see Thanos' ship coming out of the clouds and it just unloads on the compound. I was like, well, Scott's fucking dead.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. Yeah. Yeah, like that happens, and I'm like, yeah, I figured, like, well, he's fucking dead, and I figured it was going to be like, they were ultimately going to fail again, well, they kind of did, and without the help of everybody coming back
if no one had showed up, that would have been the end.
Yeah.
It's funny, the way that the trailers looked, and the way that Morag looks, I thought the final fight was going to be on Morag.
Yeah, so did
I wasn't expecting them to get everything back and fix everything and then fucking have to save the world again.
Yeah.
It was funny. When the army's pouring out of the ships and everything, I was like, oh, that's a lot of dudes. And then fucking his little crew comes walking up and I was like, oh, goddamn these guys.
Yeah, right. I'm like, fuck.
Oh, shit. And there's only 4 of them. One of them still standing. The other one's unconscious and the other one's way out of shape.
Yeah.
I want an action figure of Fat Thor so much. I loved Fat Thor, dude. And it's when he got the hammers, I was just like, he better still be fat when he puts on the armor. And then they show the shot of him, and I'm like, yep, he's still fat. There's only one shot in the movie where I think they took the stomach off of him because it's in there when they first all get back together. He's standing on the dock and he doesn't have that stomach on. And I was like, yeah, that thing's got to get uncomfortable at certain points. He's like, can I just do this shot without it?
Like, yeah, it's a wide, fuck it.
Yeah. You're in a hoodie. Maybe it's baggy.
It's crazy. It's very emotionally pleasing. and but also kind of somber and whatever. At the same time, being overly ridiculously comic booky with time travel and different versions of people and random nonsense going on. It was like I really enjoy it and thought it was good, and I'm like, good job, guys.
It doesn't hold together so
but
well.
what they pulled off in Infinity War, it's like they weren't able to do that again. But at the same time,
they'd already done it.
Yes.
Like this is the end. Everybody knows who everybody is.
Yeah, it's a conclusion. So I don't want to be too hard on it because I really enjoyed myself, and I think that there's nothing there that makes me go, maybe, and part of it's like being kind of, like down a little bit about the whole situation. You're like, even though they win, it's not overly happy.
No, it's a very bittersweet.
There's no explanation of everybody's back, but there's really no explanation of there's still 5 years have passed because Tony's fucking rules for whatever reason. He didn't want to lose his daughter. Like, I get it. And apparently you can't time. I don't know. You can't take that time back, I guess. Whatever. But you're like, it's kind of like, well, they ultimately won, but this is pretty somber.
Remember what I was talking about 2 episodes ago where I was like, I'd love to see fucking Scott's kid become the new Ant-Man, but like, what are they going to do? Just fucking fix everything? No, what they did was they just jumped forward in time. Now she's a fucking teenager.
Exactly, yeah.
I was like, oh, okay. Well, I was wrong about that one.
Yep.
And it was weird. I was just like, where the fuck is Vision? They've snapped everybody back. And I was like, oh yeah, but Vision's like dead.
Vision's dead. People who are dead are just dead.
Yeah.
So the only people who didn't come back technically are Black Widow and Vision, but Gamora's kind of back. It's weird.
Yeah, because she's a different. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, why don't they just go back in time and be like, "You're coming with us, Vision. We didn't consider the circumstances when this happened with these other people."
Yeah, right.
Even though I guess they Nebula
Thanos brought Gamora.
She technically, So Nebula killed herself. Fixes that, but also begs the question of why she's still around.
Because it's a different reality. It's not time. It's different realities. That's where it gets.
Yeah, like I said, they never explicitly explain that. The only person who ever talks about different realities is Tilda Swinton.
No, Brenner talked about it.
They talk about. When they talk about it, they talk about that there aren't actually different things.
Because at that point you go back in time and create a new reality.
You're not a new reality for yourself.
Yeah.
That time still happens, but for time and that reality to happen, and then are you going through realities? Because you're still you.
Yeah.
It's so, who cares? Like, actually, who cares? I like that they stuck to their guns. They're like, Vision's dead. They brought back Gamora because they're going to keep doing Guardians movies. Like, that's the only reason.
Well, that's going to be the crux of the third movie. Yes. Is hunting down Gamora.
Trying to find her, yeah. So, like, I'm fine with it. Who cares?
Yeah.
The Cap thing, it's fine because they needed to pass on the shield, which... You were hoping it was going to be Bucky. I thought it was going to be Sam. I thought it would be Sam, and it was.
Well, because I went back, and I know Sam's the most recent one, and chronologically, I wanted it to be Bucky because it went from Cap to Bucky first. It went from Steve to Bucky, and then back to Steve, and then Steve gave it to Sam when he turned old.
Yeah.
And then, but I went back. I watched a bunch of them. Like I watched the ones that I love. I watched. And then I caught Civil War one day. I watched Winter Soldier, and then I watched Infinity War and a couple of them. But the way they've developed Bucky doesn't want it.
Yeah.
And I mean, he didn't really want it in the comics, but this Bucky's even different than that one. He doesn't want to keep doing this.
Yeah.
That shot in Infinity War that I love so much of Bucky opening the chest with the new arm in there, and he looks so resigned. Like, I'm never going to get away from this. This is his shot. Yeah. He should be done by now, and I would love to see Bucky get that piece.
Unfortunately, he won't.
Because now he's in the Disney Plus show,
yes.
Bucky and Falcon. Which, is he still Falcon, or is he going to be Captain America, or is he Captain Falcon?
He's Captain Falcon,
American Falcon. No,
so like other than
but,
those
like,
two things, there's nothing really to be too upset about.
yeah, it's and I wasn't even upset about it because like I was saying,
It's a
like
good resolution.
Bucky
Who
doesn't.
cares?
Yeah, Bucky doesn't want it. It's a good
Yeah.
resolution, and like the Bucky that I have in these movies is not the Bucky from the comics. So like you have to parse the characters.
Yeah. So and fucking
And it felt right giving it to Sam.
you get to see fucking Cap get his dance finally, and then you get fucking
That part got me.
Yeah.
That last shot of them dancing the song from Winter Soldier, and I was just like, hey, he got his dance with his best girl.
Yep.
And then her through the window when he realizes he's in her office. It's so weird that they toyed with the Sharon Carter romance.
Mm-hmm.
And then just were like, this isn't working. I feel like that's what it was. They were like, we don't know what to do from here. Like, they kissed,
Yeah.
but there's only one girl.
She's gonna be
for
born.
Cap.
She's gonna be born, and he's gonna be there like
Hey,
your sister's baby.
we gotta talk.
Never kissed her, I swear. And they're like, oh my god, what are you talking about?
I know, I was gonna say there's gonna have to be a conversation. I may have kissed her in another reality. Let's not focus on that. And that's another question that I have. Like, was he Captain America the hero? In that, did he continue his career, or did he let that Steve Rogers be that Steve Rogers, and he just stayed with Peggy under like Roger Stevens or something?
Don't know. That's I get too muddled in that.
Yeah. Oh, I know, it's weird. I get that all the time.
Yeah. Who knows? It's just be like, he had his life. Who cares? Yeah, he was a public figure even then. So it's strange to think that they're like, I thought you were frozen in ice. He's like, no, I came back.
No, it's cool.
And then all of a sudden, when he wakes up or they find him in the ice, they're like, I thought this guy was already alive. And he's like, strange story. I gotta talk to Fury and explain this whole thing.
Yeah.
I guess there's a million ways you could write it off.
Yeah.
So like overall, there are just parts of the movie where I was kind of like, eh. But overall, I'm just like, I don't know if they could have done much better. Like,
I don't think it's one of those ones where you're like, this could be better. But like you're saying, yeah, like there's parts where I'm just like, this could be done better. And I'm like, but how?
And the ending of Infinity War is so great that I don't mind that they kind of put themselves in a corner in this one. Because it's like, they could have not ended it that way, and then it wouldn't have had to have been a goofy time travel plot. But I'm like, I loved the ending.
Oh, yeah.
Of the last movie.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like...
Well, and I like one of the things that they did from Infinity War. There's so much silence in this, and it's that eerie...
I can't wait to watch this movie again.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if I'm going to go to the theater and watch it again because it's such a quiet movie.
And that's what I loved about the audience that I was with this time. Even the dude that was like laughing really loud and everything, like when it was a somber moment, it was real quiet in that theater. It was great. I loved my viewing. First time I've ever had a viewing prod. There's only two parts that like I was just like, oh God. Really,
did somebody
guys?
yell Wakanda Forever when Black Panther showed up?
No, dude. Some dude in the background is my boy. Like that. No, I was like, yeah.
Somebody yelled Wakanda Forever.
Oh God. No. But there was this huge uproar and like sigh of relief when Spider-Man showed up. I was like, yeah, everyone's gonna come back except for Peter.
Yeah, that happened in my theater too. Everybody's like, huh?
Yeah, everybody's like, oh, he made it, and I'm like, no, he like died, like he's like super dead,
so dead,
yeah.
So dead.
That one was that was one of my problems where I was just like, guys, come on, of course he's back. Like, no one's going to come back but Peter. And I'm like, what's going to happen?
Yeah, and Spider-Man was good in the little bit he was in. He turned on instant kill mode and it was as badass as
dude, it was terrifying. And then just Marvel does not know how to do like lady power without it being like.
Yeah, they redid the scene from Infinity War where it's like she's not alone. It's all the ladies. Yeah. They got a bunch more ladies together,
and everybody's like hooping and hollering. And I was like, "Come on, guys, this is so bad."
I mean,
it's cool, but it's like it's just so corny.
They just did it again. Yeah, it was corny.
Yeah,
it was corny.
It was really corny, dude. But
corny, especially when it's like, all right, we got Gwyneth Paltrow in there now. Like This
I
is
know.
her first
When
appearance
she
as
should-
Iron Woman.
Since Iron 3.
Yeah.
Iron Man 3. She does kick some ass in Iron Man 3.
She does.
So that was like, Pepper? And I was like, oh yeah, Iron Man 3. You know? Like, okay, cool. And her suit looked badass.
Oh, the suit was cool.
Yeah, dude, I was really hoping that they'd be able to make me like Captain Marvel. And I think they made me like her less.
Yeah, but
like-
luckily they were like, she's here, she's gone, she's back for a little bit, and she had nothing to do with anything.
I
I'm like,
was
thank
just,
God.
I was just really hoping that we'd get some character instead of her just being the Deus Ex Machina, which I knew she was going to be, and then that's exactly what she was. I wanted her to be a person.
Yes,
I don't. You know, as we were watching Joe Bob the other day, and he was talking about it's important to have a strong whatever. You know, no. I need a good character. There's no character for me to get involved in with Captain Marvel. She just punches the hardest.
I remember if you listen to our review, we were talking about maybe they'll develop her more in this movie.
Yeah, because we were talking about what they did for Strange. We were hoping they would do for her in this.
Yes, and they didn't. But I kind of, which
they did it for Nebula.
Unfortunately, it'd be nice if there was some development on her, but she didn't have anything to do with the movie. So it was okay.
And I thought it was a little. I mean, they do manage to explain it away in a believable manner. Like what happened here happened everywhere. I'm taking care of everything right now, which is funny. That's a little bit of Nova leaking into that plot, which I thought was cool. I still want Richard Rider though. Yeah, but like I was just kind of like, fuck, man, because I want to like Captain Marvel.
So do I.
I can't, because she just shows up and punches the hardest, and that I feel like that's the wrong kind of pandering. I want you to give me Valkyrie kicks a shit ton of ass and is a way better character. Nebula is a way better character, kicks a ton of ass. Pepper is one of my favorites. It's like the only role I like Gwyneth Paltrow in.
Yes. She's a terrible person.
She's selling gold-plated dildos right now.
She shows up. She blows up the big ship. She shows up and is like, "We should get Thanos." And they're like, "Well, we already tried to kick his ass." She's like, "Yeah, but I'm gonna kick his ass."
Yeah, but I'll kick his ass, and then she doesn't.
But
I just that was a miss for me, because I was just like, "Fuck, man!" I was really hoping, and it's
I was okay with it because it's like they had so much on their plate already.
Yeah, they're
not going to pick up the slack of the Captain Marvel movie for not developing their character correctly.
Yeah, right, right. Like yeah. At least Doctor Strange tried. What they did was they used her to her strengths, which is like she is so powerful. She's going to be the answer to every problem. She has to show up at the 9th hour. Like that's how she's used, and she's used well. I wanted a little more character.
Yeah, and ultimately she wasn't like detrimental. She just stopped the mass destruction of the big ship out of the picture.
And I liked that introduction where they're pounding the ground and then the cannons start pointing up, and he's like, "What are they doing?" And not even Thanos knows. I was like, "Holy shit, he's just going to start shooting the whole world with that thing." And I was like, that's fucking evil as shit. And then she comes flying out of the cloud. And I was like, all right, that's pretty dope.
Yeah, no, I really liked
her intro was great.
Yeah, I really liked her. Her haircut was weird, and they even talk about her haircut.
That's the haircut she has in the comic now. Is that very like pumped up?
And she was wearing a fierce
Steve.
At the end of the movie, she was wearing a fierce pantsuit as well. I don't know what they're trying to tell us about her. I think I know, but I'm not going to say anything. I liked.
I don't know. She was giving Thor the eye.
Yeah, but perhaps.
I mean, but he's Chris Hemsworth. I would give Chris Hemsworth the eye.
Speaking of that last scene, the funeral scene. I don't know why we already said he died.
Yeah.
The funeral scene. They're doing the pan, right? And I'm like, who is that? Who's that kid? Why is that
Iron Man
kid
3
there? And I was like, Iron Man 3
I did the
kid.
same thing. I was just like, is that Pete? No, Pete was at the front with Aunt May. Oh, fuck. And like, that kind of got me, dude.
Yeah.
I was just like, that's the kid from Iron
I'm
Man
like, that's
3.
a crazy callback.
Yeah, and I was just like, man, I wondered, that would be really cool if he ends up working at Stark, and I was like, him and the daughter have a little, little brother sister kind of thing. That'd be cool.
But Happy
building a narrative in my mind,
and then Happy and the kid.
God.
I was like, Jesus,
that one got me, dude. I'm gonna buy you all the cheeseburgers.
Yeah, like, why are they getting me here?
I know, dude. That one got me.
Hopefully he takes her not to Burger King like he took
Yeah,
Tommy.
take her to get a proper California cheeseburger, please. Oh, they're in New York now, so I don't know what's Five Guys. I don't know. Still a proper cheeseburger.
Yeah, still better than Burger King.
Still better than Burger King product placement. Yeah, dude, he's gonna go to some like it's a gourmet cheeseburger place. I got that Stark money.
Yeah,
I was nervous at first that his death was gonna be him and Peter. And I was like, Pepper's here.
Yes.
Do not put this on, but let's not keep doing this.
Yeah.
And then she comes in, and I was like, thank fucking God. Because it's
has a very.
I love him and Peter. I loved that when he came out, that was what got me, was when he just hugs Peter. And he's like, okay, all right. He finally gets that hug.
It's actually just opening the door.
It was actually just opening the door. It's not a hug. Yeah, he finally gets that hug, and I thought that was great. But like, I was nervous for a minute. I was like, "Is he gonna die in Peter's arms? That's not right. Not with Pepper being in the same area." I'm glad that went the way that I would have preferred.
It went properly.
I loved it. Jeremy Renner's a good actor.
Yeah,
I loved him in this. I thought he was fantastic. He was still spicy. Still snarky Clint.
Still spicy jalapeno. Yeah. Wow, that's hot dog.
Still snarky. Oh, dude. They psyched me out, man.
Right when the first one, the new one started, I was so upset.
I was just like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it out loud. I gotta do it for my boy if they're getting rid of it. and then it followed immediately afterwards.
Started afterward. Yeah.
I know. I was they better not be getting rid of that. Wow, that's hot dog.
I'm like, oh, I thought the same thing. And then I was like, thank God I was able to find this on YouTube.
Yeah.
Save it forever.
Favorites. Watched later.
You guys have no idea what we're talking
about.
But we will say, wow, that's hot dog.
Wow, that's hot dog. Make that too.
Yes, he was spicy.
Yeah, he was still, but like he just does a good job of playing like a damaged person. And I liked Ronan a whole lot.
Yeah.
I loved that it opened with him and his kids and everything. The way that they disappeared was, you knew it was going to happen, and it was such a happy. They're having a picnic. That he's teaching her how to shoot. They're playing ball, and then the panic that he goes through, just whistling. Why, Laura. That was great. And then the first thing you get to show that everything's fixed is his phone vibrating, and it's Laura. And I thought that was great. Clint finally got something. I've been waiting for Hawkeye to have something, and he finally has. He has the motivation in the movie, I was happy to see him back, and they did him great.
Yeah. I like Rhodey talking about like, I don't even know if we want to find him. Like, he's just out there being a maniac.
That was great. Yeah. He's like, I don't think. Yeah. And she's just like, tell me where his next stop is. And he's like, nah, no. And she's just like, I need to know, and it's, God, it was more of that weird, ambiguous, like, were they in a relationship at some point, like going on. And I think that they were at some point in time. And then, she's just a person about it.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, just overall, I obviously have issues with the movie. It's not as tight as the rest of them, but for what it needed to do, it absolutely nails it, and it has moments that are just like unmatched.
Oh yeah. A Rocket's speech to Thor was great. I liked Rocket. Dude, you get so much out of Rocket, and he's a cartoon character.
Rocket has been great in these two movies.
Yeah, and then I just love that part.
He was better in these than they kind of just made him like a jerk in Guardians of the Galaxy a lot of the time.
And in 2, he did a lot. I liked him in 2 a whole lot, and then. But yeah, I agree. Again, the Russo brothers, they have some kind of magic where they take characters that are one way and they keep them that way, but they expand upon it. Mm. And he's great in this movie. And then I loved him and Nebula. They were a great little crew.
Agreed.
Yeah, dude, it's it's so good.
It is good. We could sit and harp all day about time travel and plot holes that aren't really even plot holes.
Character misses.
Just kind of a little bit of convenience and kind of not really agreeing with a couple little character bits. The fact that which they don't need to, but they don't really explain in great detail, like what was fixed with that snap. Like, I know they're all back, but like, so parents are coming back to their kids that are 5 years older, and
Yeah.
it's like, wow, that seems like seems like there would be panic.
There's going to be a panic and adjustment
Yeah.
period. Yeah, it's going to be as chaotic, but
Yeah.
like I feel like the one that cracks me up is like, do they show up in the same spot because all those people that were flying planes?
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's a good question. Very good question. Yeah, and it's like you can get hung up on that stuff all day long, but it's like that's the dumb stuff. It's fun maybe to make jokes about, but my overall issues are kind of with some of the plot and some of the pacing. But overall, fucking
it's a great end to 21 movies.
Yeah.
10 years I've been watching these movies. That's how you and I started hanging out and started talking about movies was Thor 1.
It was Thor and Iron Man.
Yeah, Thor and Iron Man
1.
2? Was it Iron Man 1?
Iron Man 1, you lent me Iron Man 1. I was like, wow, that was awesome. And then you're like, you should watch Thor. Or no, I think Thor was coming out. Thor, like I knew.
No, Thor was coming to DVD because
Yes.
I was gonna buy it, and I told you I don't own it yet, but I'm
You said,
gonna
oh,
get
yeah,
it.
it was super good, and I was like, what?
Yeah, you were like, how was that?
Because I remember,
and I
like,
was like, you need to watch it.
Where we
I
were
loved
working
it.
at the time, I remember Dr. Pepper had a bunch of Thor stuff, and I was
Yeah.
like, who's gonna watch this stupid
Who's
movie?
gonna? And I was like, I did. It's already
Like,
out.
remember I gave you Iron Man? It's like kind of all the same thing, and I was like, nah.
You're like, no way. And then you were like, I think I love this movie.
Yeah, it was a fucking amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then you
so
gave me
like,
Scott Pilgrim. Yeah.
and so much has been, and it's just, it's crazy. It's like, I'm glad they wrapped it up, and I'm glad it was good, and it kind of gave us a lot, and it wrapped things up, and then it's also kind of like, oh.
Yeah, it's like you were saying, it's a bittersweet ending because it's just like, wow, I think this is the last one, man.
Yeah.
I mean, and obviously there's going to be more Guardians, there's going to be more Spider-Man, there might be another Doctor Strange.
Yeah, who knows?
There's going to be more Black Panther, but it's never going to be the same.
No.
It's never going to be the same. And that's what's crazy to think about is it's just like, I hope that they're smart enough to not do what they've done with Star Wars, where they keep,
oh yeah,
just every year we're getting another. I would like to see us get a breather. I mean, I know Spider-Man's coming right around the corner.
Yeah, Far From Home.
But yeah, don't fucking suddenly throw the X-Men in. Just let us rest. Let us enjoy reflect upon the 21 films that we've seen, the 10 years that we've been enjoying this franchise.
Yeah, and
give us a breather.
Other than kind of what was happening in Avengers Age of Ultron, which whatever. Every one of the team up movies have been dealing with something that's been leading to this, and the fact that like they won, they fixed it. Things were lost, people were lost, and things will always be different. But it's like we ultimately finally won, so like there's no need for the Earth's mightiest heroes anymore.
Exactly, that's what I was just gonna say. Is it's just like, where are you gonna go with Thanos? I mean, like I brought it up at one point where I was like, they could do Galactus. Like Galactus is great, but then you've got the same threat where he's, instead of just snapping the planet, he's gonna eat the planet.
But here's the thing: who knows what Tony was thinking when he snapped?
Yeah.
I know Thanos and all of his forces were gone. Was he just like, Earth is fucking untouchable?
Yeah, we're good.
Who knows? Who knows what that snap was? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, and I agree with that. It's just, I would like to see if we do go forward and we start getting, more movies and stuff. I would love to see like they established Thor's going to be in Guardians. Things like Ragnarok, where we're going to get a new Ant-Man movie, but Banner's going to work with Pym this movie or whatever, something like that, Little tiny team ups. I don't need any more Avengers. Like, I really want a breather. Like, I need to.
No, especially after this. Could you imagine, like,
to rest,
dude? This has been a couple years here. I guess it's been like a year. Yeah, it's great. Go see it.
Yeah.
I'm definitely look forward to watching it again. I think this will be one to watch a few times for sure. I don't think it's not perfect as a movie, but it doesn't fail in any of its kind of attempts in the broader picture.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I got nothing to add to that.
There you go. This has been the Mighty Movie Pod. But before,
We're also not making any more podcasts.
yeah. Also, this is the last podcast.
Yeah.
Movies are dead. So here's the thing, man. I honestly think this movie is going to make more money than Infinity War, and I thought that would be impossible. A sequel, I think it might, and I think I might have to
sequel to a technical sequel.
Yeah, I think I might have to say that I think Detective Pikachu will not make as much money as this movie.
Oh man,
I thought it would, but I don't know. Domestically, definitely not. Worldwide, maybe it will. Anyway, last podcast, Josh died.
I died.
You can find us on
Ryan sacrificed me for the Soul Stone.
You can find us on all major podcasting apps, including Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and SoundCloud. It's all Mighty Movie Pod. We are at Mighty Movie Pod on Twitter. You can hit us up there. If you want to watch any of our video content on YouTube, we are Mighty Fish Productions on YouTube, as well as twitch.tv/Mighty Fish Productions. You can email us at mightyfishpodcast@gmail.com, although I should probably make another one for people that email us. Yeah, this has been episode 61, and we will catch you on the flip side. Stay frosty, my friends.
We still got Godzilla, Detective Pikachu.
Dude, Detective Pikachu's right around the corner.
I know, that's next weekend, right?
Pumped. 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. There's a lot coming out. Yeah, and then you get Godzilla. Oh, they played that before my movie as well.
Yeah,
I laughed out loud.
I got that one. That was the one I was trying to think of. Yeah,
Yes.
no, because I was like, oh no,
It's gonna happen.
such a bad trailer.
God, we're all over the place. Anyway, thank you for listening. I'm Ryan.
I'm still Josh.
Bye.